Alright folks, Ryu here, and today we're looking at a ship that's been turning heads faster than a Gladius with its afterburner stuck on. The Kruger L-21 Wolf. Sleek, stylish, and armed with a set of guns that'll make even the cockiest Talon pilot sit up a little straighter. Let's talk about what we actually know so far. The Kruger L-21 Wolf, Kruger Intergalactic's first fully in-house light fighter, which is CIG code word for "we're making something new to encourage you to open your wallet," has arrived on the radar. And straight away it's clear they didn't set out to make just another "me too" combat ship. This one's got personality and a very particular bite. From nose to tail, the Wolf oozes a kind of retro-futuristic charm. Think 1950 sci-fi blended with classic sports car curves. It's got a long, elegant nose tapering into a sleek fuselage, with tail fins that look more hot rod than hardened war machine. It's a kind of silhouette that makes you imagine it roaring down a chrome-lined boulevard on Terra as much as cutting through vacuum. But make no mistake, behind that beauty, it's still a fighter. And the headline feature? 2 bespoke size 4 ballistic gatling guns, designed specifically for the Wolf. Not some off-the-shelf kit bolted on for convenience. These purpose-built weapons integrated into the ship's form. When deployed, they swing into action with a kind of animation flourish that says, "You're about to have a bad day." But here's the reality check. In the current patch, Ballistics and Star Citizen are in a bit of an awkward spot. Hull and shield mitigation soak up a lot of their potential damage before it even reaches your target's flesh and bone, or metal and conduit in this case. Most shields reduce incoming ballistic damage by 20 to 30%, and once that gets through, most ship's armour will cut another 50% from what's left. That means in practice, your bespoke gatlings are only going to deliver about 35 to 40% of their listed damage output in real combat. You can shoot through ammo and still feel like you're barely scratching them. But, and this is a big but, CIG have been making moves. The recently released RSI Meteor comes packing 2 bespoke size 5 ballistic cannons, and that's got people talking. Is this the start of a slow turn towards a ballistic meta? Because here's the thing, ballistics aren't just about raw DPS. When engineering gameplay drops with component level damage, repairs and system management, suddenly the ability to punch through armour and cripple vital internals could be huge. Imagine a wolf getting behind you, shredding your power plant or blowing out your cooler, leaving you dead in space before you even realise the fight's changed. Now when you stack the wolf up against something like the Gladius, the differences are night and day. The Gladius is sharp, angular, military spec efficiency. Most people run it with energy weapons, which means it can fire indefinitely as long as the capacitors are charged. No ammo to run out of, no reloads to worry about. It's fast, nimble, and has a track record in just about every combat environment Star Citizen has thrown at it. The Wolf? Entirely different philosophy. This is a precision predator. You don't just spray fire and hope. You pick your moment, wait for the shields to crack, line up your shot, and unleash a burst so violent we're still trying to process what just happened as you're already lining up the next pass. Right now in the live game, the Gladius probably still has the edge in a sustained fight, but if the balance swings, if CIG decides ballistics should bypass shields more efficiently, or if disabling components becomes a primary way to win engagements, the Wolf could suddenly leap from stylish newcomer to must-fly light fighter. So for now, the Wolf is a bit of a paradox. A beautifully crafted machine with weapons that aren't yet living up to their potential. But in the future, it might just be the ship everyone's trying to avoid having on their tail. So here's the thing. As much as the Wolf looks like it's got style coming out of every vent, it's not quite my cup of tea. It reminds me a bit of the Alfa Romeo Disco Volante, which, well, let's just say I wasn't exactly lining up to buy one. I like my future fighters to feel like they've actually come from the future, not a vintage car show. But that said, credit where it's due, CIG are definitely shaking things up. It's refreshing to see something, but it doesn't just look like another reskinned Gladius. We're trying something new, and yeah, I respect that. But here's a proper kicker. I miss ballistics. The brrrr of a high-speed gatling gun, it just hits differently, you know? There's something visceral about it. Like the ship's alive and hungry. I'm genuinely excited to see if the Wolf is the start of a new chapter for ballistic weapons. Can't wait to get hands on and see if it lives up to the hype when it finally drops. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Wolf so far. Obviously when it releases I want to do a full review, but for now, that'll do it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.